All right, what's going on, boys and girls? So we're going to be talking about a tweet of all things. Usually it's a video, but J2Cents, one of the really big tech YouTubers, posted this particular tweet. Dedicated Linux users, genuine question: what appeals to you to Linux? For me, the very fact that I would have to ask myself, will it work with new titles, drivers, distros, disparities, etc. keep me off other than screw MS? What keeps you dedicated to it? And then he has a subtweet for it that I'm really only interested in responses from dedicated Linux users. That means no Windows of any on your systems. If they're a Linux user and they have not at least used Windows or attempted to use Windows in some way, shape, or form in the last 20 years, they're going to have a skewed view. The ones you want to ask are the ones that have the choice to go and use the OSs that are available, macOS, Windows, or the myriad of other Linux OSs. And that's the people you want to ask, because they're choosing to, out of their available options, to go to Linux. So as a tech guy, I have to stay up to date to macOS and Windows, or else I'm just speaking ignorance. But all my stuff is done in Linux. This is being done, edited in Linux. Novel concept. That's the point. So for me, the reason that I stay with Linux is really, really simple. Control. And it's not about like just screw MS kind of control. It's not about screw Apple kind of control. I determine the experience. I determine what OS and what version of Linux is going to fit its needs or my needs for this particular, because I build and use OSs based on the hardware and the need. So that Linux offers the flexibility and control to determine that. Example, this right now is a gamer OS machine on one drive. My second drive, a Linux drive, is Salient OS. This is an 8-year-old machine. It's an EliteBook 8760W. But I determine what it's able to do. Anybody on Windows or Mac, they'd be laughing at the specs. You're talking a quad-core 2nd gen i7, 32 gigs of RAM. It's only DDR3, and 2 M2 512 SSDs and an upgradable GPU. Novel idea. MXM the Video Quadro K4100M. They're at 3100M, sorry. About a 770-ish, give or take. That's outdated by most measures. But what I did to this is I'm using it as a console for $200. And I can damn well game pretty damn good on it. I can play my updated DMC4, my DMC Devil May Cry. I can play Dirt Rally. I can play Dirt. I can play Grid. And that's the point. But on the flip side, I can switch over to the other drive and do all my editing, because I'm able to determine the base structure of what I need and don't need. The thing with Windows is like, you get all these stupid like live tiles and stuff, which whatever. It's not so much that, it's what comes pre-bloated, and these are bloated. Like these are things that are being installed that are not being asked for. And there's a difference between core applications and shit that just no one wants. Candy Crush, much like that kind of stuff. I don't determine that. Microsoft does. And they do it for a financial reason, and that's fine. But that kind of ancillary stuff is being well forced. Core applications and that kind of stuff, and personal choices that a distro maker might make, that's different. And for me, what it really boils down to, though, is at the end of the day, I can yank all that crap out that I want. Windows, Mac, can't do it. There are certain things that are like, nope, you can't do. Hey, if I want to, RM-RF my system, that's my choice. And Linux doesn't care. They're like, hey, input your password. There you go. That's your working system gone. And Windows doesn't offer that. You can delete Windows, but you can't delete Windows. Same with macOS. You have ultimate control over the system and the hardware. And that's what it boils down to. It's not just about, oh, it's open, oh, it's closed. I run proprietary software. I've run DaVinci Resolve. I run, my preferred editor on Linux is Lightworks. There are just things that you can determine that the other ones don't offer. It's a generic name for many solutions kind of problem solving. Oh, let's use Linux. What, the Raspberry Pi for, a media server? Okay, cool. Try something with Kodi and do that. Take your pick. Like, you can have purpose-built machines with a purpose-ready OS instead of a generic OS that's meant to be all things to everybody trying to do it. It's the same way when it came to Windows and its security design versus, say, a Unix or a Linux-like system, a Unix-like system like Linux. And that boils down to Windows is a single-user system trying to upscale to multi-user. Linux is a multi-user system scalable down to a single-user system. Same deal.